Buckle up, it's the Insurance Dudes Podcast.
Boom! Boom! Was that a pre-boom or was that? I think that was an early boom.
Did I pre-boom? I pre-boom?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You don't want to do that.
Nobody wants a pre-boom.
No pre-booms. Well, hey, we have the Mathisen brothers, Andy and Ryan, back. We've having a lot of part diz lately, but it's awesome because I think we've become better at this, and until that crap. So anyway, welcome back, guys.
Well,
thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. Yeah, it means we're not out of business yet, I guess. So that's good news.
Yes. Right.
Well,
oh gosh.
I see you guys everywhere on social media, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and all those different places with GloveBox. And you're one of the few places that like our stuff. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, boys. We are big fans of the dudes, and we always will be. You guys
see you guys everywhere. Your logo is, you can't keep it out of your brain. It's like two just dudes coming into your brain.
Right.
So,
we say this. Yeah, we say this all the time. You guys, when we recorded last year, 2019, it was by far our favorite episode of any recording we've ever been on.
Yeah.
The jokes that are being tossed around. I don't want to use the word raunchy, but we are going to push that.
Oh, good. Good.
You guys are doing work. Good job.
Oh, well, thank you
guys.
Yeah, we're closing in on number 200. Yeah, and you guys are
crushing it.
It's been it's funny. We got our little baby that we're trying to cradle, and all of a sudden it's crawling and walking. So here we are.
It can take off quick.
Let's start there. Let's get all cots up.
Yeah,
sure.
Andy, you go, man. I'll sit back. I'll let you take the glory.
Funny. I relate everything that we've done and with GloveBox to my youngest child, who was born 6 days before GloveBox was launched, and so that was intense to not only have a child, my second child, but then my third right away within a week. And then COVID happens, and we're trying to keep everything kind of, in this kind of a path where we're zigzagging, and we finally got on a straight, narrow line here. Without diving into way too many specifics right away, we're definitely we're making it happen. We're at revenue. Things are moving. So
nice.
Awesome,
so for those folks that are in the listening audience that maybe didn't catch the first one, the company you guys started, it's called GloveBox. Talk a little bit about the product, talk about the solution and how it helps agents from all different walks of life.
It's all you, Ryan.
Oh, perfect. Let me step in. So, if you didn't listen to the first episode, Andy and I are insurance nerds. We're insurance, channel experts, I like to say, self-proclaimed. Maybe other people don't think so, but we help build a pretty large agency out of Colorado. So we're products of the system. And really everything we've done with GloveBox is very eloquently designed based off of what we would have wanted as agents. So we're not tech people. We're not coming in trying to reinvent an industry that we don't know about. When you think about every pain point that you deal with as an agent, we felt the same pain. And so we said, hey, we're going to step up and build a technology that really helps alleviate a lot of that pain for these agents and create a technology that actually makes sense for the channel. So essentially, in a nutshell, what GloveBox is we are the premier mobile and web self-servicing platform for agents to leverage with their clients. So essentially what we've done is we've gone direct to the carriers. We've integrated with their service systems, whether it be their mobile app or their internet portal. We've aggregated that into a single experience, and then we're white labeling it to agencies and agents. And that's kind of a high level of what we've done.
Ooh,
that's
I don't
awesome.
remember. I don't recall the white label thing something that was there from the start?
Gosh, no. We always kind of knew that's the way we were going to go, but I don't think we articulated it very well. And so
we didn't know how to articulate it.
Yeah. So as we've gone along, it's come into it's come to fruition here for us, and we've actually taken it down to the agent level. So we can actually go into an agency, give the master agency their own branded technology, but then give each agent within that agency their own custom branded technology as well. So now that agent has their own face, their own socials, their own website, if they have it, all of their information, it's all embedded within their own mobile and web experience, really to stay omnipresent with their policyholders, right? If I'm an agent, I want them thinking about me 24/7 when it comes to insurance. If they're going to refer out, they're going to refer me. And so that was a huge shift for us.
That's cool. So when you guys, so last year when you guys came on, I believe you sold your business for, or it had about 100 million in premium. Is that right?
Yeah.
When you sold the agency?
Yeah.
So, which you guys built up from a very tight referral network, as I recall, right?
Yep.
Very
you guys
correct. Yep.
dropped a whole bunch of value, knowledge nuggets, if you will, about how to do that. Now, with everything you learned from that experience, now helping out so many independent agencies out there, what are some things that you guys have learned that maybe the top 1% or top 5% of insurance agents that are doing right now, what are they doing differently than some of the other agencies that you've seen that haven't had as much success?
Well, we talk to so many agencies every day, every week. It's very interesting, actually. The way we operated our business was very streamlined, departmentalized. Everyone did one good thing. And so it's interesting talking to agents and agency owners about their style and their operation. Boy, is it different. And they're learning from us. We're learning from them how maybe we could have done it differently. But at the end of the day, it's all about just scaling as quickly as possible. And that's all going to come down to your agency operations. Like, just hone in on one or two things and just do that really well. And so in talking to a lot of people, they might need to kind of pivot their workflow and their efficiency to streamline that a little better. And actually, we do have I was able to dig up an old marketing strategy deck that I built. It's a 60-page deck. And if anyone's interested in that, just let me know. I can send it on over to you.
Cool.
Cool.
We could link it out in the show notes too, if that's good with you guys.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Yeah.
So the secret, and I think it goes without saying, and I think we jumped pretty quickly from there. But if I remember correctly, when you guys took over that agency, it was a $10 million agency. Is that right? Somewhere around there.
It was probably around a $5 million agency
Okay.
when we came on
About
board.
7 when I came in. Yeah.
So 5 million, right? Let's put that into perspective. A lot of agents never get to 5 million. Okay, so
Right.
that's a pretty good milestone. A lot of people would be happy with the revenue you get off that, especially in the indie space. And here you guys took and you grew it to 100 million. I mean, that's insane numbers.
Yeah.
At first, it was about less agents doing more premium. But then as those good agents started to get better and that we didn't need to focus on them as much, we can now hire good people to do the same thing and just replicate that.
Sure.
That was kind of the model.
So let's talk about that. It's important also to note that you're talking about processes. We talk about it a lot, creating the systems and processes so that you can track and measure and then scale, right? Because if you don't have the systems in place and you scale chaos, you're screwed, right? Like that's the end of the road, hemorrhaging money. So how did you keep it so airtight? What was the formula that you put into that?
Yeah, I think it was exactly what Andy is saying. It's compartmentalizing. It's not trying to do too much as a producer. If a producer's servicing business, that's faux pas number one. You know how it is. If you're trying to quote a deal and then you've got someone calling you for billing and freaking out over, a renewal premium, and that distracts you from what you're really trying to accomplish. And so that compartmentalization of an agency is key.
Yeah.
And allowing your producers to go do what they do. Let them go hunt. And let your service team do what they do best, which is the retention, the account rounding, and all of those important measures to retain the business. And so the compartmentalization is number one.
Right. And some people are fearful of that because it's like you may be giving control to somebody. It's going to cost more, but in the long run, the results speak for themselves.
It's funny. I always say our agency was a true freight train. Like it was crazy. Like once it got going, we couldn't have stopped it if we wanted to. Like it was crazy. Like if you market well enough and know exactly who you're marketing to and what you're trying to get, in 6 months of that marketing, you'll have more business than you can legitimately handle. And it sounds cheesy, but it's true. And you multiply that by 20, 30, 40, 50 producers, and it's like, that's something that you can't turn off. Like that thing is going.
So I would like to get into that a little bit, because a lot of agents out there, well, there's a handful of agents out there that I've talked to that have this. There's a kind of a mantra, old school insurance agents that are kind of proud of not spending money on marketing, right? Like it's like a badge of honor. Like, oh, I don't do that. Like, it's so absurd, right? So how did you guys approach that coming into it? I mean, obviously you guys had probably a decent size kind of marketing budget, but in order to scale like that, you guys had to take a lot of those profits and throw it right back in to build that snowball. So like, how did you guys approach that, and what advice would you give knowing what you know now?
I'd say, I know this is probably an obvious thing, but the number one reason why a producer doesn't succeed is because they're not generating enough leads, and you got to start there always. And so, like you said, you got to spend money to make money, and you're doing it in the right places. I mean, lead providers can be a way to kickstart your business, but it's going to come from what we call just a pie, and that pie is made up of like 6 or 7 different, pieces, and that's what that packet is that I was talking about, that deck that I can send over. But really, it's just, you got to spend your money wisely in multiple areas and multiple facets to grow that thing in the right manner, because not every time is that pie going to be well-rounded. Like sometimes this lead gen strategy is going to do better than that one, and so on and so forth. We spent a lot of money and time on mortgage broker referrals, like taking them out to lunch, golf, happy hour, all that fun stuff. Do that for the first few months. You're going to just breed really quality referral partners, and that's going to be kind of your bread and butter, if you will. So that's really where we started, and we spent a lot of money on that side. I mean, we had a dedicated person or two that was generating leads just for the agency. And then from there, they were teaching the individual producers that are building their own book of business to do the same thing. So that's kind of where that started.
What's the magic number that a producer should have of mortgage producers or loan officers?
Yeah, like 20 quality referral partners is going to take care of you big time, because really they're going to send 2 or 3 of those leads per referral partner per month. And that's a good partner. That's going to lead to 50 leads or more. And that's going to turn into a lot of premium. I mean, if you're not closing half of those good referral partner leads, then you're not doing the right thing. There's something wrong there.
Right.
It's not the lead flow. It's something else.
Well, shoot. I mean, even as captives, we're going to close like 75, 80% on those deals. So I can't imagine that you guys are probably close to 100%.
You're not going to lose on price as an indie. I mean, you're not losing on price. You're losing on maybe name recognition sometimes, and trying to convince the prospect that, hey, this is an A-rated carrier. They may not market like State Farm, Farmers, and those ones, but hey, they're still a quality company, and you're not paying their marketing budget per se. And so every indie has kind of scripts of how they overcome those objections of, hey, I've never heard of State Auto before, or things like that. But Jason, to your point, I think spending money on automation right now is the number one thing that agents can do for their business. And for the agents that are unwilling to spend money on automation resources are going to die, because you cannot. Clients have a very specific expectation of how the sales process should go these days, and if it doesn't trend that way, then you're going to be an outdated agent, and your close ratio is going to start going down. These clients are going to start gravitating elsewhere, and so automation is key.
Yeah, I'd like to dive into that a little bit. So I think somebody that has never done it before probably doesn't even know where to start. Like, what kind of automation processes are you talking about? What kind of companies should we be looking for? What are some of the things that we can start today to get that ball rolling?
Yeah, so obviously on the sales side is the first starter. You want to get an email automation system set up where you are automatically following up with your prospects, on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. They are incubating your current clients, and they're incubating your ex dates with campaigns. And those are super easy to set up, but they're touch points. They're a reminder to the client that, hey, I'm here, I'm available, and here's what I do, and here's why I'm better. And it's all about obviously hitting the prospect at the right time. And so those automated messages, which you can also do via text now as well, which is huge. Those have almost 100% open rate. are really a nice incubator to hit those clients at the right times or those prospects. So email and text marketing and campaigns is the very first entry point into automation. Then on obviously the back end with GloveBox, GloveBox is a very simple tool to integrate into your business to remove a lot of those nuanced service requests from your clients. Let them handle it. Let them pay a bill to the carrier. You don't need to handhold your client to try to pay a bill to auto owners. Like they've all used Amazon. Everybody knows how to put in a credit card into a form. So let a system like GloveBox handle your nuanced customer service requests that, by the way, your clients don't want to be calling you on anyway. They're frustrated as equally as you are. And so those are really entry-level things that you can do in your business to free up your time. And time is king in insurance. It's everything. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. There's also some old school mentality that, well, then I'm losing those touch points because I'm not being personal. Probably all the objections you guys hear or your sales team hears when they're talking about GloveBox. But to your point, people are getting used to buying Amazon, right? Not going to the corner store to go buy the cereal or buy the TP or whatever, right? You take those things and replace it. Now, if once they're trained, right, what a huge opportunity to reach out to your whole book, train them that this is the way we're going to do it. We've upgraded it, made it faster for you, all of the bonuses, right? And how much more time does that free up where maybe you don't need as many service people? Maybe you can invest that money now in marketing or other producers.
Yep. And it's really setting yourself up for the new insurance consumer, which, millennials are the largest segment of home buyers in the US. They have been for the past 5 years. Yeah. So your book is diversifying right in front of your eyes. And if you're not keeping up with even the most simplistic systems, those millennials are going to go elsewhere. And
they don't even know this. You can talk on this. They didn't know that you can talk on this.
I know, right? Like if the phone rings, it's off-putting. Like seriously.
Yeah, they're like, what is it doing? What is that?
Who would call me at noon on a Wednesday? Like, who has the gall to call me at noon on a Wednesday? Like, ridiculous.
Speaking to the point of millennials being the fastest growing home buyers, what are some trends that you're seeing that that might be more geared toward, like, what are you seeing the need for with millennials that you're needing to handle rather than the older generation?
It chopped up a little.
Oh,
it
sorry.
Did chop up a little.
Sorry.
I mean, so what are millennials? What are some of the things that they want stuff that's fast, right? They're used to technology, so they love being able to handle things right away. What are some other things that we can do to help serve them better?
Yeah, I think it's understanding where you're needed as an agent. I think, Craig, to your point, agents can be afraid of being removed from the process. Hey, if I do this, what am I good for? I'm going to be phased out. And I think that is a total fallacy. I think that's something that's used as an excuse. You need to understand your process of sales and service. And you need to understand where you're most valuable to your consumers. And it's not generating an ID card. That is not your value to a consumer. The value to you is walking them through the coverages that they need for the new home they're buying, or understanding what that life insurance policy has to offer. Understanding this new pet insurance product that now everybody's launched. That's your value as an agent, is to consult your client, not push paper. And so they really need to understand and look at their process and offer the correct touch points with their client where they're valuable.
Yeah. There's no value to printing out somebody's ID cards, right? Like the printer can do it. The machine can do it. The app can do it. Everything can do it. So you have to be differentiate. If this is how you serve your client is, hey, I'm really good and fast at getting people their ID cards, you're going away.
You've met an expectation that they had in the door. Like you're not wowing them. You're just meeting an expectation that they assumed you had anyway. So
here's the thing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Well, I was just going to say it. Yeah, go ahead.
The only thing that I was thinking is when, like, we have clients, and I still have some that actually will text me from way old, long time ago. And
when you used to give out your phone number.
Yes, when I used to give out my phone number, and I've learned don't ever give my phone number out, right? But these are people I've known forever, or people who aren't clients, right? Friends, like when they're touching and asking you questions, like that's the time when they need the service. And if you can duplicate that, become the expert around, hey, if my house explodes or because of X, Y, and Z, what do I do? Now you're providing value.
And you ain't getting that from Geico. Like I don't have Geico on my speed. I'm not texting Geico.
No,
like Geico's not going to get back to me on text. So it's like understand your value as an independent agent and maximize that value.
Right. And the more you niche up, the better opportunity you have to do that.
Yep. And the more business you can sell.
Yeah. With each client. No, you're good. Yeah, quit cutting me off. I'm trying to.
It's the
he's my little brother, so he's
just gonna hang out here.
So it's all right.
I'm just gonna watch.
I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah, right. No, you're good. No, what I'm trying to kind of point out is that your client's going to dictate kind of where you spend your time with them. If you listen well enough, they're going to try to guide you where you should spend most of your time. So be efficient based on the way they're driving that kind of tone or that conversation. Now you can control the conversation, but just work off of them. That's kind of where the efficiency and then the service you're providing can be told right there in that conversation. So.
I love something. Yeah, so true. And I love what Ryan said earlier about wowing your clients. It's so true. So a lot of the times we think of, we gotta talk to the client, right? Well, we don't have to. I mean, it's not necessary. That serves our need, right? It's about serving their need at the top level that we can. And sometimes the wow factor will be the fact that they can press a button and do something instantly, or be able to talk to you about going to a football game or something. Like it doesn't have to be, every interaction with the agency has to be you. I like the wow factor. Like if
would you say that, filling out a smart form for a quote or filling out a quote capture form is a good start? I'm asking because you're in the seat right now, so that might be a good question for you.
Yeah. No,
I mean, anything to speed up that process, make it easier on them.
Anything to make it easier. Yeah, because a lot of time, like even now, somebody else was bringing this up before about how, if you shoot a text to somebody, a video or whatever, well, they might actually have that in their hand to show their wife at night when they're watching TV and they bring up something like that. Helps serve them because that's the time that they want to be served, not necessarily during the day. And you're saying, well, you can only call me during this time. So it's like these little pieces of technology aren't a threat as much as they are a tool to help serve the client in the way they want to be served, not necessarily us.
Yeah. And I think there's two things that agents need to focus on. A, is your client happy? And B, are they paying their premiums? That's the two things that you care about, right? What else is there? Like if you're looking for a buddy, go find some buddies. Like these clients are not your friends by and large. I mean, I'm sure they're all very nice people, but at the end of the day, are they happy with your service, whatever that may be? And are they paying their premiums? And really that's what you should be concerned with as an insurance agent. So,
and how can you maximize those outcomes, right?
Yes. Like what is the easiest path from A to Z to achieve that?
Yep.
Is the
so
goal.
True.
Yep.
So true.
100%.
So, yeah, we have that thing as agents. We have that dual thing where it's like one is we're an agent, and two is we're a business owner. Right. So you got to wear those different hats. Like as an agent, you want to just help everybody and you want to talk to everybody and stuff. But I mean, you got to wear that business hat too. If it serves them the best, fastest, easiest, then do it. Like that's the best thing for your business. You know?
And they're still relating it to your business. It's still your business you're offering. Like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool tool they offer. I like that. That makes sense. And I had a good experience then. So, yeah.
As you grow the business and you scale, and you guys most certainly understand this, right? As you get to 100 million, there's no way you're talking to the clients. You can't. Right. It's impossible, right? Because if you talk to one, then you have to talk to all of them, and you're not talking to 100 million of premium. So taking yourself out, being that business owner, it can be a rough transition, right? Because some of them are used to it. I remember some of the calls in the beginning when it's like, okay, got to take it back one step because there's a lot of other things that have to be done, and I have to get the team in place so that they can do this, right? You replicate yourself. But I remember, time after time, I have to talk to Craig. Like it was, no matter what, I have to. And then finally, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Talk to him. Hey, I need ID cards. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was this retraining, right? You had to retrain the clients. Look, hey, we're growing. In order to serve you at the highest level, we have to have some of this responsibility over here. When the house burns down, that's when we're talking, right? That's when we're going to really get through the nitty gritty and get you to the right place.
A lot of new agents do need to learn that concept, by the way, because I can think of a handful of agents that we were training and kind of growing. And as we were managing them at our old agency, we'd noticed that they'd want to be involved in every piece of the conversation with the client. And it's just that, hey, you can delegate here, there, and everywhere you can. Right. And the new agents might not grasp that right away. So they're coming from other industries. They're used to it, like the car industry, whatever it may be. They need to talk to the client at all times and delegate.
I think it's an overcompensation for differentiating ourselves between direct digital channels. So like, I really got to insert myself in this process to make sure they know why I'm different.
Right.
And so I think there's been like an overcompensation of agents like thinking that way. And I think it's more of a detriment than it is a value as we evolve.
Yeah. And those clients, the ones that are direct digital, they're not the ones that you're looking for anyway.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a group of people who are always going to have agents.
Yeah.
They have and understand the value in it. There's a group of people who, no matter what, they want to pay $39 a month and get garbage. And that's fine. Right. That's where they're going, right?
You'll know it pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yes, by the length of their report, right?
Yeah.
But again, can we merge the experience together for our clients as an independent agent? And the answer is absolutely yes. We can merge the experience. We can make it feel digital when it's, still a personal touch. You can definitely keep both aspects. And this digital evolution is not an onslaught. Like you can work it into your agency slowly. It doesn't have to be this total transformation in a month. It's, Jason, as you mentioned, just, simplistic things to start. Do something to start the automation process again, or do something to start the self-servicing process so that you can, kind of transform your culture slowly. It doesn't have to be this abrupt transformation.
What a funny time in the insurance industry trying to figure out which technologies are going to work for you. It's just like trial here, trial there, put them all together, see what works. Let's chop it up. It's going to take years for everything to work itself out, but the insurance industry is so far behind that that's kind of where we're at.
So. Well, and insurance agents are so ADD in that it's shiny object syndrome, right? Here's the next one, and this one's going to solve it, and they do it for a week, and then they move to the next thing, and it's like, please stick with something for 60 days or 90 days until you can actually see the results.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of times people get so hooked on the vehicle and not about the outcome. And I think that's some people I know that have like digital companies, right? They're so focused on the digital aspect of it that they forget who they're serving. And it's like they don't have any human element, right? And then same with like we'll say the agents from the past that are not doing anything digital, and they're kind of losing track of who they're serving and how to serve them better. And it's, I think the magic for any business, whether it be insurance or even a SaaS product, is that you got to have the combination. Like it's still the same business that was 200 years ago when they were, selling guns to the cowboys.
We're still selling pieces of paper. They're just digital pieces of paper now.
Yeah,
We're still
and helping people.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes all digital is going to make stuff so confused. I just want to talk to someone. Like understanding your customer and the journey and using whatever is the best way to solve those little problems that come along the way. That's the magic. And putting the two together is the magic, it seems like.
That outcome first and working backwards is critical.
Well said.
Yeah, you get stuck in the weeds. Like I'm the weeds guy, but you get stuck down here on the process. Forget the process. Figure out where you want to go, and then work backwards. You guys didn't get to 100 million saying, well, I just want to write a bunch of premium, right? You said, I want to get to 100 million. I want to do it in 8 years. And this is how we're going to do it. Right.
Yeah.
It was like work backwards.
Yeah.
Or how are we going to do it? And then,
you know what? One other point is on that note is every month we wanted to beat the last month. And there's in the insurance industry, it's kind of like, oh, I made it. I made it through my month. I had it awesome. Well, I hit 50K in premium. I'm good for the next month. I'm just going to let this one coast for a minute. But that was never going to help scale. So that's really it's the mentality behind that. So
yeah, and stick to that process, man. Like, Craig, you said it. Like, you can't be jumping around from this, that, and the other, and expect it to come to fruition. Like, stick to a process, stick to a technology, stick to something, and give it 6 months and really see it through. And then if it doesn't work, then maybe that's not a good concept. But yeah, you can't expect a silver bullet in a week. Like, that's not the business.
To run the business the way that businesses are run, right? When you look at big businesses, they don't make a marketing play and then after a week decide that it's no good, right? They spend $1 billion and they're like, hey, we're going to look at this for the next year. And then we're going to look at the results and we're going to make a decision, right? Or do we pour gas on it or do we pull the plug? And I love nothing more than to see the situation where cost per policy is low and we're like, ooh, this one's working. And you just dump gas on it and it becomes the money machine.
There it is.
Right. And then you run with it like it's a newfound toy and you go gangbusters and that's how you win.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not complicated by any means.
I know we have a few more minutes. I'd love to get some insight as you guys have been talking to agents, how you've seen people deal with the current environment we're in. You know, this may be, I'm sure people will be listening to this episode in 100 years, but there's a thing called COVID going on right now that's changed the landscape of the business industry, right? We took,
Joking,
you can get it through. You can get it through Skype. But we said, hey, look, the rules of the sales funnel have not changed. We're still going to spend money. We're going to get something out the back. What have you seen with people and their marketing spends?
Right.
Go ahead, Andy.
Take it. Oh, okay.
No, I'll take it. Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, it's been interesting, guys, because like everyone's all over the place because you see some that want to take advantage and they're like, I'm going to spend that. Now's the time to spend money. I got to shift my whole, like now's the time to turn the agency mindset somewhere else. Really put a magnifying glass on what's working, what's not. That's where a lot of agencies are, in my eyes, moving kind of that whole mindset. And then the other half of them are, well, I shouldn't say half. I think it's about 25% who are still kind of like, I got to make it through. I got to make it through. And they're just kind of still using old systems, old ways, and not really adapting with what's going on right now. And that's hard because you're working from home somewhat. Some of them are. They're trying to change how their workday looks. Still cold calls always work, making sure you're doing the same old stuff that was still traditional, but you got to hurry up and adapt because this thing is moving whether we like it or not. So 75% of the agencies I'm talking to are still are working their way into this new mindset. So
yeah, and think about what we have here. You have the majority of the population that is sitting at home looking for something to do and they're scrolling through social media because they've maxed out Netflix. Like there's nothing else to watch. And what are they doing? And they're stewing on their insurance premiums. Like, God, I pay a lot, man. I've been meaning to check up on this for 2 years. Now I have the time. And so what do you think these people are, like, what do you think these people are doing? They're sitting at home. And if you're not there, you're not available. Most of the agents I've talked to over the past 2 months have seen a huge uptick in business. Right. And it's because of that reason. It's because people are shopping, because they have time on their hands, and they're like, cool, what a great time to take care of this. So if you are not full force on social media and really pushing the envelope with your marketing on socials, you're missing the boat.
It could be the only time somebody actually wants a quote is right now.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's something to do.
Saving money.
People would rather get a root canal than get a quote, right? And so here they are.
But they still don't want to talk to you, by the way.
No, they don't really. Well, that's how they start it. It's like, no, I don't. But you get past that initial part, and then they open up. And we've seen contact rates go through the roof. They're not quite as good as they were a couple months ago, but they're still definitely higher than they were before.
Sure.
Sounds about right.
So this is a point to thrive. This is the time if you're an agent to win. Like this is the time for sure.
So awesome. So I know you guys have a hard stop here. If you were number one, how can they find you? And make sure you send over the links. We'll post them on the show notes. But how can they find you if they want to take a look and get a demo or whatever it is they can do?
If they want to open up the glove box.
That's
Jump inside the glove box.
Yeah, we've come a long way since last year, like we were kind of alluding to. So there's a lot to check up on. Go to GloveBoxApp.com, or you can email us, Ryan or Andy, at GloveBoxApp.com, and we'll take any calls, any Zoom meetings, whatever we're doing, and that at that given time. I don't know what the technology is going to look like in a month or two, but things are always changing.
Awesome.
The next big thing, TikTok maybe.
Yeah.
So,
and I will say this: self-servicing in the independent channel is inevitable. It's inevitable, and we are the only platform that has brought the carrier's experience in direct, which is the only thing that makes sense for our industry. So definitely check us out now. We've got 75 agencies live already. We're automating to over 150,000 policyholders currently. Like it's blowing up. So definitely get in line, and we would love to show you our product and get feedback. But it's a huge value to your agency. So
cool, dude. Thank you guys so much.
Dude,
love checking in with you guys. Love all
this is
the
awesome.
Knowledge nuggets.
The
there you go, man.
Dude.
And if you don't like any of it, I'll give you Andy's home address. You can go check up with him.
Just so happens I'm moving. So there you go.
Well, thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Always a pleasure to hang, and I'm sure there will be some awesome new stuff coming out, and we look forward to seeing it.
All right, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Hey, you've got to check out the Insurance Dudes Inner Circle coming soon, where you get extended interviews as well as live coffee talks in our private Facebook group. Join the mailing list today at theinsurancedudespodcast.com. Hey, thanks for checking out the Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.